Hey everyone, hopefully you're having a good day. My name's Andy. My channel's Finding Value. Hopefully you're having a good Friday. Give me a thumbs up if you guys are having a good Friday. Put it in the, thumbs up, whatever it is. Um, Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Do that if you haven't done so. Leave comments on what's going on, guys. If you guys need some help with anything, put it in the comment section. Love to hear your guys' opinion. Again, this is just my financial opinion. Please don't use it as advice. We're going to look at the charts. I'm hoping that we can get this thing to break to the upside. You can see behind me the Sprott physical uranium. We're just sitting here chilling at the resistance line. I want it to break. All right, I want this thing to start ripping it, give you guys some good gains. But it is right there. It's trying to. We've got kind of a bearish engulfing pattern here. A little bit of a down day today. It's kind of coming back. I'd say it's not completely lost, but we'll see. We'll see. I'd like to see this thing turn here. Uranium, we have broken the downtrend. We are still coming back for a return move. Does it mean that we're completely broken? We're not broken yet. And even if we do break down, it just gives us a better buying opportunity. That's kind of how I view it. This is what it looks like. We can throw in a little pattern here of a potential. I mean, we could go down a little bit more at a 69. We kind of came down to 72. I think that's probably maybe the move that we'll get out of it. And I do think we'll probably find a bottom here at some point. Usually what happens is you kind of break out. And then what happens is you go sideways for a little while. You go sideways for a little while. And I mean, we're doing the retest right now. We kind of broke out, did a retest, and hopefully we can kind of chop sideways for a little bit, which is basically squaring up the pattern. Downward move, sideways move, and then upward move. Bannerman, getting a little banny here. Banner what? 10 bagga men, 10 bagga. Jigga jigga bagga. Here's the downtrend line coming here. We are coming back kind of sideways here. We're still above the trend line, so everything looks good. Yeah, we had a down day today, but it's not the end of the world. There we are. The down day is right at the trend line, so we got to hold. Banny, you better hold, little Banny. Look at this thing. It's like right at it. It's a little bit below it even. I don't know why it's a green day, but I guess it's a green day because it's Friday. But it was down today. Goviax, another, getting sold off today. Extend that. Nice, good reversal here, and then we came down and sold off today. Still looks okay. We're still above the trend line. Everything looks all right. It looks like people just weren't happy with their Goviax holdings and wanted to sell it today, apparently. Global Atomic. Oh, look at that. It's still within the pattern. I drew this yesterday just guessing. I said, oh, maybe it'll make a pattern like this, going sideways before we break to the upside. I was kind of just guessing, obviously. But it's within the pattern. So let's see if this thing goes back and forth within this pattern and breaks to the upside. It would be a huge kind of guesstimate of what would happen if it does happen that way. It'd be pretty funny if it does. Here is Thesis metals, and you can kind of see the pattern here. We've got like support there. And then what I'm thinking is we got kind of support through here. So we're kind of going to square this thing up and go sideways for a little bit. And then I think we'll eventually work our way higher. Hopefully that's the case. Pure points kind of coming to a point. Downtrend line's broken. There it is, the downtrend line broken. We're coming and squaring it up, going sideways. So that looks good. Here's deep yellow. Going into the abyss. We've got deep yellow. So deep yellow, downtrend line, breakage. A little bit of a down day today. We're like right at the resistance line trying to break. It's just trying to get through there. Sky Harbor. It sounds like it should be a basketball player's name. I don't know why. It's just because of the jump, Sky. So coming up, we skied here and hit the ceiling. We skied into the ceiling and bounced back down. But I do think we're going to kind of move sideways before moving up. So that's kind of what we're doing. Squaring up the patterns. Next gen energy. We've got some sell-off today. We're kind of coming back to this support resistance line. Let's keep zooming in on this bad boy. You can see that we're just going back and forth, up and down with the next gen energy. This is Canalaska broke its downtrend. Everything's looking looks a-okay. 2 big up days, little small down days. It's looking good. It's okay. It's all right. And then we've got base load. Here's our down day today with the big wick at the top before it. Kind of expected. So when you see a wick like this, it's a reversal candlestick to come back down. Now we're probably going to do some chopping sideways to square up this momentum downward move. It's going to kind of do a couple of bounces and then move on up. If I were to guess, so let's do some guessing here, guys. Might as well, right? 1, 2, 3. There you go. There's my guess. We're going to do a move like this and then move higher. That's my guess. Here is Fission 3.0. Oh, nice. Nice, big old kind of bullish day today. Way to go, Fission 3.0. Doesn't look too bad. Coming on up. We broke out of the downtrend. This is a very short downtrend. It doesn't really mean all that much, to be honest, guys. And looking at it, we're coming, we're kind of breaking out of this pattern here. And what I mean by that is there's a pattern there. It's kind of coming up into it and boom, popping up to the upside. We closed at 0.1909, which is right above this kind of pattern. Hopefully we can get a little bit of a launch here. That'd be nice. Seeing some of these kind of launch higher. Fission, looks like we pulled back today. It was down, but we had a little bit of a run at the end of the day today. It's probably got a little wick at the bottom. Yeah, a little wick. So that one's kind of bouncing between the two support resistance lines. CCJ's kind of got this descending kind of pattern there. We're bouncing all back and forth, and now we just got to break to the upside and reverse the pattern. Easier said than done. Gazettem still in a downtrend. Still pulling back. There's the dailies. Nice, good, solid down day today. That's not helping anybody, and you can see this thing continuing to move lower. PenMF moving lower. Hopefully we can use this support resistance line, so it's a support line now, to stay above the line. Boss Energy getting sold off today. There's the sell-off. I think we're probably going to see maybe even a little bit more of a sell-off still left in it. If I were to take a guess, it's probably something like a sell-off about there. $1.28, so it might still move down a little bit for a projected move. Lotus Resources, it's popped above its downtrend line. It's still hanging out over here, even though we had a down day today. Doesn't look horrible. So just hang on. Me, Roy, you, Roy, we all Roy. No, Roy? Yeah, Roy. So, I don't know, whatever it is. We broke through the downtrend here. Let's zoom way in on it. We're doing a little bit of a retest. We bounced off of the support line, and hopefully we can get some momentum to the upside, Roy. Don't fail me, Roy. All right, here we go. This one's looking a little bit better there. Encore, way to go. This one doesn't look bad. I mean, obviously it was down today, but we were coming in this downtrend. We broke out of it, doing a retest move, and then we got a bullish engulfing at the end of the day for the last 30 minutes. Hopefully we can get some traction and move on up. UU. This is a kind of a big old pattern back here. Breaking to the downside here. If you zoom way into it, we are still kind of in this downward path. So, I mean, we could head lower here. We could move sideways like it's been doing. So sideways to lower is kind of my guess on that right at the short term. UR Energy, it broke its downtrend. So I'm going to have to say it's got the potential, if we close above $1.50, to be in an uptrend, to turn into an uptrend. We want to hold above $1.29. We break below $1.29, then the downtrend ensues. You'll probably see kind of a breakout to the downside if we break that. UEC is above its downtrend line. It's still doing okay. Again, We just got to hold on here and start making our way higher. LEU. Now, I I drew in a head and shoulders pattern, and it's kind of doing a shoulder. Let's see if this thing holds or where it goes. Because if this thing starts to break back down, maybe we get a move lower in this shoulder pattern. Light bridge, getting smoked to the downside from this ascending wedge. We kind of predicted that. I mean, this was an ascending wedge pattern that I drew in here. And if you extend it out, you can see this thing went right to the edge of the pattern. Statistically, it wants to break to the downside. It's breaking to the downside. It does have support here at the neckline, so we'll see if this thing holds at this support line. If not, we could see a little bit lower move down to 646. If it moves down there, you know, start looking to buy. I would say if we get a contraction on the candlesticks, if we get that contraction. Here is ISO energy. I would say it's not looking too bad. I'm going to do a 1 year and zoom in on it. It's got a kind of a candlestick with a wick at the bottom, a hammer pattern. Hopefully we can kind of bounce here and do some sideways motion. Now I'm going to draw this out. And guys, I'm just kind of doing this for fun. This is the short term. So what we did is we popped higher, we came down, and what I think is going to happen is we're going to do one of these, and then we're going to do one of these, and then we're going to move higher. And if I were to kind of draw something in, it's going to be something like, I'll extend it later, maybe, and then it'll be kind of maybe something like that. Dude, just go in there. Just go in there. Something like that. So we'll see if this thing kind of bounces like this and breaks out. But that's my guess. And I'm going to throw guesses in here, guys. It'll be fun. We can watch it together. Here's Appia Energy slamming its head against this resistance line and came back a little bit. Still doesn't look horrible, though. Still looks okay. Denison Mines coming out of its little pattern here. I tried breaking down, but then shot higher, and we're coming back, almost doing like a little retest here on the top of the rail. So let's see if this thing holds. We've got Blue Sky. Let's back out a little bit, get our bearings here. Yeah, it's just kind of chopping sideways. Form Energy Metals. So the thing that you want to be careful here is we could go lower. Let me back out. We could come all the way back down here to 6 cents. And I'm not saying we're going to, okay? But it's a possibility. And if we get down there, you know, I'm going to be buying some shares, that's for sure. But we could, you know, bounce up and almost touch this guy here, which we basically did. And then we'll see where we go. Maybe we'll go sideways and then break. It's tough to say. Laramide, man, this thing's getting smacked around like the Laramide it wants to be. Now, this thing... So this is a bullish piercing. This is a bullish engulfing. It's lining up to move higher, and it got smacked back down. This is a battle, guys. One battle is going through here. One thing that I would watch, you know, if we break below this line and close below it and really get slammed and hammered down here, be careful. Because I think we could hit this, we could go to 41 cents if it breaks out of this little pattern here. I don't know what it's going to do. If it comes back there, I'm going to buy more, that's for sure. If it doesn't go back there, then, oh well, that's okay. And that's the way that I look at things. I don't look at things from a super short-term perspective. And if you notice, I mean, we get setups, we know where the pressure is, we can see that things are setting up to break one way or the other. It doesn't mean on the short term that you're going to get your 100% outcome like that. It's all statistical probabilities. That's why I don't really trade short term. I do the big picture view where we have a lot higher probability of success. I'm talking a lot higher. It is the fundamentals that are driving the structural fundamentals that are underneath these markets are what drive the big long-term patterns. The short-term movements up and down are driven by a variety of things. It could be market conditions at that very short-term point in terms of fear and greed in the markets. It could be news. It could be anything. And that's why I really stick to the fundamentals in the long-term investing of a 5 to 10 year time frame, because that's about when the fundamentals really start to turn into play year over year. And then the market conditions and money flows are on the real estate cycle, business cycle. So that's kind of what I look at when looking at these. We could see more downside here. It's a possibility. On the other hand, we have a lot of broken downtrend lines that we're above. So we have mixed signals. That's the hardest spot to read in a sector. What you want to see in a sector is everything align up. It'd be nice to see the Sprott Uranium Trust break out of that resistance line to the upside, and then seeing all these other companies be on the upside of their downtrend lines. Then I'd be like, it's game on, it's ready to go. My hesitation right now is with the Sprott Uranium Trust getting big bearish engulfings and staying below its trend line or resistance line. That's telling me that we could maybe see some more downside. It's anyone's guess at this point because it's a mixed bag. And the technicals are saying, hey, look, we've got chopping sideways action. It could be a basing pattern to move up. But if the Sprott Uranium Trust sells off, I would think that we'd see more selling pressure in the mining companies. That's kind of my guess. But you know what? It's just a guess. That's all it is. And that's why I play the long-term game. Uranium, incredible investment from a long-term perspective. It is completely undervalued. It's one of the best valuations of an asset class that I know of in the market in terms of uranium to gold ratio and its history. And we're going into an energy crisis. It's going to be coming up. So there's no way I'm going to be short energy. That's for sure. I'm going to be long in energy. It's an inflationary trade. We've got inflation in front of us. Everything looks good from that perspective. So in the short term, whatever pain we endure together, I see it as a buying opportunity. And whenever I see strength to turn back up, sprinkle, sprinkle, sprinkle. That's cost averaging in is what I'm going to do. So if you guys like the channel, if you want to be a part of this, give me a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, do all that fun stuff, and leave comments if you guys need any help. Put it in the comment section. Thanks for listening. This is Finding Value.